Welcome to Shandwick, India. I'm Bianca, Managing Editor, Mediaco India.
My name is John Wade. I'm Head of Digital for Shandwick in Asia Pacific.
And I'm Jai Smith, Head of Mediaco for Asia Pacific.
And all of us are really glad that you're here on this page, which means that you've probably heard about Mediaco and you're wondering why so many people are starting to tweet, chat and talk about it. And I guess that's what Mediaco really is about, setting the tone and the texture of the conversations that people, that brands need to engage in right now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if we look at Asia Pacific, generally speaking, there's been two big changes for as far as our business is concerned. One is there's been a big change in consumer behaviour driven by adoption of digital technologies like the internet, like mobile phones, etc. Particularly here in Asia Pacific on the mobile phone side of things. But also at the same time, technology has affected the way in which media organisations are going about their business. And so that change that's happened in the newsrooms across the region is really what's driven the launch of Mediaco here in Asia Pacific and actually the success of the proposition over here.
And I think as global brands try and adapt to these changes anyway, when we look at a market like India, there's some very specific challenges around there. You know, as a market, it's culturally diverse, with many different dialects and languages. And as any global brand tries to engage there are a lot of considerations they need to factor before communicating online, through social media or through mobile phones. And I know some of the survey results from our media survey have shown the same thing.
Absolutely. I mean, journalism, the way that it's been practiced in the last decade or so, that's undergone a sea change and it's changing still. I mean, what with the enormous expansion of social media, we know there's an always-on news cycle, and because of that, journalists are having to do a lot more with a lot less. Newsrooms are shrinking, their budgets are shrinking, and of course, the way that news in itself engages with its audiences, that's changing. That's something our survey has indicated quite clearly, that every journalist we've spoken to, they've said that their workload has doubled now. And what they're doing is that they're going online to search for their story angles, their story pegs, and more journalists are today open to accepting branded content, and those lines between editorial content and branded content, that's blurring.
Mediaco is about having brands operate as though they were a media company. So that's an editorial-led approach, really, which is quite different to a kind of, say, an advertising or marketing-led approach. We're actually bringing in different types of resources into a PR agency context that really didn't used to work there before. Maybe just elaborate on some of that.
Sure. So where we're expanding the disciplines is certainly going from public relations experts into more the editorial and creative direction side of the business. So these are people who are joining the business as really stewards for both quality and editorial content, and really being that golden thread through content publishing operations. The real second stream that we've had on board for the last few years is really our digital strategy stream. And these are channel and platform experts, as well as content distribution experts. And suddenly public relations agencies are looking at paid media and owned media, and not just the earned media space. Multinational companies, global companies are really built on a similar structure. There's a comms team and there's a marketing team. And as digital and social technologies evolved, there was a bit of a turf war between these two departments. And where that's left is actually a bigger opportunity for public relations to do what it's always done. And we hope we can help all our clients achieve that and achieve their goals through this new kind of digital context.
Absolutely. John, can you just tell us a little bit about how this particular offering, Mediaco, is going to help our clients in India tell their own story to the people they want to at a time that they want to share it?
Sure. I mean, Mediaco is a complementary strategy to a traditional media relations approach. And so what Mediaco allows our brands and our clients to do is to reach their stakeholders direct. That might be influencers, that might be the media, it might be consumers, to tell their story on their terms using owned and, to a certain extent, paid media channels where traditionally they've only really been looking at earned media. So that's really the big benefit for Indian clients.
And this is an award-winning service. It's now coming to India. We're really excited to bring this to India. If you want to know more, you can get in touch at the address that we've provided. Thanks very much.